to wear a hairnet when you get in that thing? Huh? What's the purpose?
Probably because they share the helmet, so you don't get nits or anything like that.
Got hairnets for you.
Yes.
So these are these here. So if you want to, are you happy if I try it on just to make sure it fits you? And then, that's for you. Do you want to put your helmet?
Yeah, you don't want cooties in that helmet. I don't that bad.
Here we go.
What?
You ripped it.
Do you want to take your glasses off just so I can fit it and then you can put them back on?
Don't matter.
No? Okay, do you want to try that? How does that feel?
Good.
Good? Alright, perfect, that's yours. Take it off now. So, I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Awesome. So that'll sit that there, then we'll put your helmet on and I'll quickly win.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you can put your glasses back on. I'll take that off you now. I just wanted to make sure about it.
Penrite on these shorts. All right, welcome back.
How long have you been over here for?
3 days so far.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's going good.
And how long
Fantastic.
further?
We're going to be here for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you staying? Melbourne?
I don't know where we're staying. To be honest, we're staying right in the city, more or less.
In Melbourne?
Yeah, yeah.
In Casino?
No.
Should be there.
Yeah, really. All right.
Have you had a bit of a look around in that?
Oh, man, this is fantastic. This is something else.
The weather could have been better.
Well, it's getting there. Look.
Yeah. When that sun comes out, man, it'll burn the hell out of you.
All right.
What do you think of Australia's, what we do over here?
Like this is, I've never been to something like this.
No, but what about the car scene?
Yeah.
The work that the Australians do?
Just as good as anybody in the world, if not better. Right? It is what it is.
Yeah. No, they do all right. Yep. I've been a panel beater for 35 years.
Yeah. So you know what it's all about.
Yeah, that's why I love watching your show.
Oh, thank you.
Anything to do with cars.
Right.
I don't watch anything else.
Right.
CGC.
Are you liking the food?
Yeah, it's good. They're putting on a good too, mate.
Yeah.
My young fella's a mechanic.
Okay.
He's 25, he's a mechanic, and this lady here is an oil rep.
Okay.
And they gave us the tickets for free.
Right on.
And we got all the merch for nothing. I had to go buy the jacket because it was a bit cold. That was only $90, that's not bad.
Listen, old Penrite doing the deal, I think.
They're looking after us.
They took us through the oil refinery there. Their, I don't know what you call it, their filling station or whatever you call it. But they ran us through that. It was awesome.
Good stuff.
We're at the Sandown 500 and Penrite is sponsoring. We're in the Penrite tent. It's amazing. That's all I got to say. It's amazing.
Are you drinking?
I've got to have one beer and then I'm going to go over to the Penrite tent. I'm going to sign autographs. We're going to be over at the Penrite tent at 1 o'clock. And we're going to be over signing people's signing stuff, autographs and that sort of stuff. But it's quite overwhelming and very humbling to think that Penrite would pull us over here and show this to us when I've never been shown this before in my life. Thank you.
You don't have anything like this?
I've never been to something
You're
like
from
this.
Canada, aren't you?
Yeah.
All year? I can tell that's your family over there.
What's that? Yeah.
Is that your family?
They bring us, they're Rod and Guy brought us over a couple of years ago. We did the car scene with them in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Is that the one we were at? Brisbane? Brisbane, then we come.
Brisbane's a nice place.
Yes, very nice.
Gold Coast is a nice place too.
Yeah, I think they took us there too. Yeah, they took us around and showed us a lot of stuff.
Beautiful beaches over here.
Yeah.
And you should keep going a little bit further.
Yes.
Down around the coast, very nice.
Well, basically, I think we're confined to what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this, and then we're going to Dirty Devil's Car Club.
Yep.
And we're going to try to chop a truck for them, chop a roof for them. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Yeah. Do a little bit of work and pleasure at the same time.
Did you bring your tools with you?
All I need is a grinder.
The wheel and death.
Yeah, there you go. I got one.
Yeah, I love mine. Mine just blew up. I had to go buy another one. I love the battery operated stuff now.
I do and I don't. I don't like
Yeah, I know.
charging the battery, right? And I'm using it full time, so it's basically, I like the power that electric gives me.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that if you want to cut something big,
Yeah.
go with the fucking plug-in, mate. They rev harder.
Yeah.
But for what we do, and you just need to cut a little bit,
Yeah.
they're fucking perfect. They're nice and wide. Is that all you've ever done?
No, I've hung chickens for 15 years. I've been fired probably everywhere I work. And I decided I better do something I like. And I've done carpentry work. I've done I've done everything. Cement work. I've
I've done the same. I've
shingling.
done concrete, I've
Yeah.
done a roof. I've just about done everything, but I always come back to panel beating.
Well, I just enjoy the cars. It's the art of it, I guess. I like cars, you know.
Yeah.
And when I was young, that was my passion. And when I decided that I had enough of everything else, or they had enough of me, I decided to go for it. And I had a dream and it come true.
Lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
I'm a lucky one, mate.
Well, I mean, let's face it. If you don't have a dream, it can't come true, get it? Right? A lot of people don't have a dream. They're just working for something, and then they're not quite sure what they're working for.
And they say if you love what you're doing, you haven't worked a day in your life.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, I guess, but I still think it's work because we do it every day. We
Yeah.
film every day.
But it helps if you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people that do it because they have to.
Right.
Other stuff,
Right.
not panel beating, but they do it because they have to.
Right.
That's why I always come back to panel beating because it's what I love.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything other than that. I like what I'm
I couldn't
doing.
imagine not working on cars.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I have to.
This is my first time to a supercar event.
You must be thinking the same thing I'm thinking.
Yeah,
like, wow,
that's
like,
fucking brilliant. I've always just watched it on telly. And you don't get, like, have you been up in the grandstands yet?
no.
You've got to go up there.
And
The noise is out of control because it comes off the road and gets caught in there,
yeah?
and you're muffled in there with it. You've got to go to the top of the grandstand. When they're going full pelt down here, you can do it. Really good.
the sun it's coming. The clouds are trying to come out. The sun's trying to come out.
My brother would be devo that I'm here with you guys. Because like he taught me how to panel beat.
Okay.
And then he went and done other things. And now I teach him how to panel beat.
What do you actually call panel beat? Like body work? Is just
Yeah, body work.
Yeah.
That's what we call it over here. We're panel beaters.
Okay.
So a panel beater just works in a shop and does. But I do more resto stuff, all
Yeah.
all the older stuff.
Yeah.
Because I hate that run of the mill stuff.
Right.
Like it's all plastic and fucking tin and poor panel beaters these days. They're not panel beaters. They're replacement panel fitters.
Yeah.
Because they come in with a little dip in the guard, and the insurance company said no.
A guard is a
new
fender.
one on it.
A guard is a fender.
Guard is a fender. And they say no, put a new one on it. So how does he get to learn how to knock a dip out and file it up and do what we do? Because he just fits a new fucking panel job.
Well, basically that's what it's coming to, is it
Well, it's
not?
not their fault, but yeah, they're just not what we learned, like what we learned back in the day. We learned to knock something out, file it up, and fog it, and put it on its way. And that
Fog is body film.
body fill, yeah.
All these different words.
Have you used the splines yet?
The what?
Splines?
The spline.
Very thin piece of this polyurethane plastic.
For a block?
And you stick your paper to it, and then you rub, and it just brings out things diamond straight. Diamond straight. But I've finished the panel once before, and then the splines come out, and he goes, "Here, try the spline." So I went over one of my
Has
panels.
the spline got the cuts in it? Is that what's got, or is it just flat?
It's just flat,
Okay.
completely flat. And I tried it with the spline, and it brought up all these lows, and it looked like it was hail damage. Like, I thought it was right until I splined it. And you're right, you bog in with the spline too.
What do you mean?
So you get your body filler and you put it on your panel. Like if you're bogging, say, the half of the bonnet or something, you quickly wipe it in, and then you grab the spline and you fucking pull it over it, so it's got to be straight.
Gotcha. So you're using the spline for applying it and sanding?
And sanding.
Oh, wow.
So
So,
like
it's a plastic, the body fill comes right off, no problem?
Yeah, and the body filler we use is so soft, it's beautiful. So, you know, you really only need 80. Back in my day, I used 36, really hard grit paper to carve it up. You don't need to do that now. It's so thin and so, because the spline puts it on so straight, you're not rubbing as much. So it's less body filler, less everything.
I get you.
And it's better.
Yeah, the smoother you can put it on, the better it's going to be.
And then what we do is we put on like a polyester, which is a spray-on bog.
Okay.
So that'll take out those fine ripples. Because I've done bodywork on cars before and thought it was going to be straight, and you look down it, like you have to really look, you'll see them little fine ripples, and to get rid of them, you've got to use polyester. It's a spray-on bog, and you put 3 big coats of that on, and then you file the hell out of that, and then you put your high fill on top of that, and then you block that again, and then you paint.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
People say 30 grand to do a car. Come and see what we've got to do.
Yeah, right on. Is this mine? Is this one mine? Yeah. Have a seat. Have a seat. I gotta go soon.
Got to be back before the wind shot closes.
What's that?
He can talk.
Yeah.
Got to go like that.
I'm not. Yeah, he's spitting stuff on me. Did you notice that? Did you? He's spitting stuff on me. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know if Jolene will be able to play that or not with the F and the F and the F and the F. Yeah, with the F word. Why is that car stopping on the corner and letting that one pass it? Because the guy's going faster than he is?
I don't know why either. They pull up there, It's like as I said, it's a timing thing. They like to get one guy in the clear to do his fastest time.
I thought fucking when he was going to smash it. Smash into the ass him, I thought it was going to happen.
I don't know if they come out of the pits here and go over. I don't know what it is.
That car was doing so good all day.
Stop.
I didn't get the seat.
God, just stop the camera just before that. Dang it. Watch this, babe.
They're going to be rebuilding that car tonight.
That's going to be a lot of work, eh? That car was performing all day. Like it looked really good, like fast.
All right, guys. So safety cars out. That's into practice. You wouldn't like a big Will Davidson, would you? All right. So one more raffle quickly. So there is no time to spare. So your number is called. You're going to do a pit tour, and you need to go straight to the front table there. And the entrance, we go straight down to the garage. So if I call your number, you need to go straight there. So eat up, pants on, jackets on.
Yep, okay.
All right, ready to rock and roll. So,
Are we ready? Or is that one? Okay, let's do it.
all right, make it the prize. Here we go. Ready, C26. Ready, C26.
Where did she go? Just 1 second, Sheila. I think I might have lost her. There she is. There she is. You're not scared of Jolene's camera, are you? No. Oh, do you want...
No, I'm fine. The
Okay,
thing's right
you're
there.
going to get wet, probably.
Put those for us, Darren.
You can sit here, Jolene. I'll sit in the back.
No, I'll sit with you.
Huh?
I'll sit with you.
You want me to just pull them out? You want to pull that up? Pull them out? All right. You want front or back?
In the back.
Let's sit in the back then. Let's do it.
Slap by that sleigh.
I do.
How dry the track is and all of that, but we seem pretty confident in the dry and the wet today.
Give me a second.
It's playing now.
You have 3
Yeah.
to sign. You want 2? Did you want one? You want one, did you not? Yeah. You got your, yeah. You're not.
We need another black marker.
Sure can. How do we want to do the photos? Are you able to hold it up and get a selfie? Do that thing?
Or come behind.
Is that good enough? Is that good enough like that? Cool.
Yeah, come on back.
Yeah. We can just sit down. That's perfect. Do you have a dream, young lady?
A dream?
Yeah.
Not really.
You know what? If you don't have a dream, it can't come true.
True.
Yeah. And you know what? It's free. Make a dream and go for it. Why not? Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does. Have a dream. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
You want to get that signed, eh?
Yes, please.
What are you working on? Fixing your hand.
Yeah.
What happened?
Broke my skateboarding.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Was you going too fast?
Yeah.
Do you work on old cars?
I enjoy doing old cars, yeah.
Cool.
Put the cars in a running room, they'll put helmets in a running room, they'll put skateboards. I know the 80s wrestling figures.
Appreciate you coming. We'll be right with you.
Pardon?
We'll be right with you. Major, you can take that one. Major, you sign that. Thank you. Do you watch the TV show, or do you watch the YouTube, or do you just want to get an autograph?
Just want to get an autograph. My dad watches it, but I don't. I watch it with him sometimes, but not myself.
You can tease him that you met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a dream? Should you have a dream? You know why? It can't come true if you don't have one. Right? And it's free. It is free. So you should go home and start dreaming what you want in life. What you want in life, right? And it can't come true unless you have it. Right? No worries. Do you have a dream?
To be a dancer.
Awesome. And if it doesn't come true, make another one. It's free, right? You know how to get a dream to come true? Put work clothes on, right? If you want to become a good dancer, you have to work at it, right? Dance hard, go for it. It can come true. Sure.
Well, how was you when you walked past under the covers before? Got all excited.
Oh. Hey man, how you doing? What's your name? Jax?
Jay.
I only know how to spell my name, not your name. Yeah, I only practice my name. You want me to write 2 Jacks on it though? Would you like that? I'll get my Queen Jolene to write Jacks on there. Do you have a dream? You don't know what you want to be in life? Do you know why you should have a dream? If you don't have one, it can't come true. right? Right? And they're free. It's the only thing in life for free. Ask your dad. You can't even get a kick in the ass for free. You have to work for that. Right? Do you have a dream? Good. What is it? Awesome. That means you're a nice person. You know that? You know why? Because it was a nice thought. That's how you know things, right?
Making enough money to go and get out of getting the military car.
You'd have to have a lot. But you know what? Make your dream come true and go for it. Right on, Jax. I'll do it again for you, buddy. Have you got a dream yet? What are you going to do tonight?
Sleep.
Why not have a dream while you're sleep and think what you want to be in life? Right? And go for it.
Probably 4 and a half later, don't you?
Does that make sense? You got a dream, right? Who do you want to be? You know? Go for it. Nice to meet you. How you doing, man?
Nice to meet you, Michael.
Nice to meet you. How
Yes,
you doing, Michael?
thank you. Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
good. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm an amateur driver myself.
So am I. I'm probably not that good at it.
Every track I've tried in Victoria has always been wet as for the first time I've ever gone out.
Okay.
Doing it for a couple of years, but yeah, absolutely, you guys are inspirational for us.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're a good man. You know why? You give kind words.
Yes, thank you. I enjoy flag marshalling too. I get out there for Victorian flag marshalling.
Okay, right on.
Hopefully I might see you on tracks sometime.
Cool.
All the best.
How you doing? What do you watch, the TV show or the YouTube, or not watch at all?
No, I watch wrestling. Yes.
Okay. Do you have a dream? You say no? Do you know if you don't have one, it can't come true?
Do you have any dreams?
Does that make sense?
Do you have any dreams?
What you want to be in life?
What do you want to be?
What do you want to do? Well, you have to go home and start dreaming, boy. You know why? It can't come true if you don't dream. What do you want to be? Right? Think about it.
When you grow up.
Take your time and think about it and go for it. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's the only thing free in life, dreaming. Yeah. You can't even get a kick in the ass with doing something wrong.
That's right. He knows all about that.
But you can dream, right? If you don't have one, it's not going to come true. Because you're not going to work for it.
Yeah. Anyway.
He does kickboxing.
So what are you going to do tonight? How about try dreaming about what you want to be in life? Well, I thought you didn't tell me what your dream was. What do you want to be in life?
What are you going to be?
Drag stuff.
Drag stuff.
Right on, man. Go for it.
Thanks, guys.
Much for you, Dutch money.
Pretty excited. Pretty excited. So we just talking to Buddy here. I was asking, what kind of money do you think you got in there? So welcome to Lane 88 Museum. Obviously this museum is a collection of the Diamond family who own Penrite.
Right.
It's a basic collection of their private cars and a few other ambassadors' cars we've got in storage. So it's tucked away. This is our old head office. I think I said to you today we...
handbasket. Yep.
You would never put any of these cars.
We moved here back in 1991, and we outgrew this place about 7-8 years ago, and we moved to Dandenong. So this actually used to be our head office. So you're literally standing where reception used to be. But as I said, during COVID, the place was a bit unused, and the owner decided to make it into something with all our cars in one spot. So got a few of those here. Obviously our 35C Bugatti. This actually used to be a race car, and we got retired from racing about 4 or 5 years ago. It was actually owned by a gentleman called George Hettrell. George Hettrell was a friend of the family, him and his wife Pat, and he was an active racer, and he was still racing up until his late 80s. So he unfortunately couldn't continue with his racing, and rather than sell the cars overseas, yeah, of course you can, yep, go close.
So I didn't realize it was so small.
Yeah, they're pretty small cars.
Yeah.
So rather than sort of them go overseas, the Diamond family, JD and George used to have a bit of a gentleman's agreement. They used to hide cars at each other's houses away from their wives. But Pat and that tells me they knew about them anyway. But so it was a factory race, a race car that they used for many years. And then obviously when it was retired, we acquired the car. It's been sitting at the moment for the last couple of years. We're just in the throes of deciding whether to put it back on track or make it a road car or whatever. So yeah, it's quite a well-known Australian race car.
Whatever happens with it, it's fantastic. Yeah, that's cool. Very last Bugatti team car event.
So you look how small the foot welders as well. They're tiny, and you sort of sit slightly off centre. So like every Bugatti, they all leak. So if you ever watch old videos of anyone driving an old Bugatti, you see them tuck their trousers into their socks because they all leak oil, and you're sitting right where the actual gearbox is. Yeah. So there's always a pool of oil in a Bugatti. It's just one of those things.
So don't complain if you get oil in your car, sweetheart.
That's right. There are no seals around the gearbox, so they just
basically... What is this going on in the centre here?
Yeah, that's your ignition timing. So you can... I'll actually pop the bonnet for you if you like. Have a bit of a look.
Yeah, I've never, get the chance to see it this close, I guess.
Later on tonight, I'll pull the nose off for you. You can have a bit of a closer look if you like.
And the car was bought in this way?
Yeah, so it was. We bought it as you see it here. As I said, George campaigned it for about 20 odd years, and it was campaigned before that by a gentleman in South Australia. So it's a really pretty well known Australian race car in the historic scene. So you have to come over this side. That's probably the more fun side.
Is it a supercharger?
Yeah, so it's only a little 1910cc engine, obviously supercharged as well, and just a 4-speed non-sequential gearbox in it. So quite a fun car to race around the track. There's heaps of photos of George racing the wheels off it, and I literally mean racing the wheels off it. There's probably 3 or 4 photos that I've seen with George with the back tyre in front of the car. Yeah. They've got wire tie downs to keep the magnesium caps, or the caps on the magnesium wheels. You can probably see the wires, but it still tends to throw tyres. So it's quite a machine.
It's quite see the work in that? See they welded that panel on there? They welded that in there. They welded that there. They welded that all down there. They welded it there. I'm not sure why, but they aluminum welded it there. You can see it. Right, Ken? Yeah.
One thing from a fabrication point of view is probably the front bar.
Yeah.
So this is hollow.
Okay.
So it's all one piece and it's all hollow. So it was factory built like that.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Apparently they made it by putting glass in it, and they heated it and bent it with glass inside it. Then obviously they broke the glass to get it out and kept it hollow.
So they've forgotten more than we know.
I think so. I mean, considering they started in a horse shed, I mean that's why Bugatti has that horseshoe front grille or front radiator, because they started in a horse barn.
I did not know that.
Yes, that's why they got that shape.
You know how I bent the shape on Jolene's car? We had a chair that had a round back on it. I bent the bar, the front end over the chair to give it the perfect shape.
Whatever works.
Yeah, it worked. But it was just a chair with a back on it like that, and I bent the grill over top of that. So this is a hand
crank. Yep, still hand crank. Yep.
That thing will take right off.
Yeah, take your arm off if you don't do it properly, and put your thumb on the right side.
Is the steering actually a pulley?
Yeah. So there's from this one.
No. Wait, what's this thing?
So that's the timing adjustment, I think, from this. I said this is one of the cars we've literally got and not touched. So it's one of the earlier cars that
makes sense.
We basically have a rule in here, and I said the owners have always got all the cars driving, so they don't like anything that's a static display. So pretty much everything you see in here runs and drives, starts and stops. This is the slight exception because we bought it as an ongoing racing car, and I said it hasn't raced again competitively in the last 4 or 5 years. So.
Yeah. It's amazing how they have everything tied so nothing moves.
Yeah, so nothing flies off basically.
Yeah. Makes sense. And it has cable brakes.
Yeah. When they work.
Jolene's car has cable brakes, and they all laughed at me. I said, they got cable brakes, we can have cable brakes. But I only made front ones for you, didn't I? It only had front cable brakes.
So the image on the wall behind you is from Shelsley Walsh Hill Climb as well. So it's the oldest consecutive running hill climb in the world. It's where John Diamond used to go as a kid, allegedly, and watch the racing. That's actually a 3098 OE Vauxhall. And brand new that car was, throwing around a track.
He was leaning there trying to make her...
Yeah, trying to make it... Well, I've been in those cars at like 60 kilometres an hour and it's terrifying, let alone that speed. But that's where actually our name comes from for our classic range, the Shelsley. It comes from the Shelsley Walsh Hill Climb. Okay. So JD, when he came over here, he tried to keep that in the history of the company. The one behind us is our 540k Mercedes. So this is a 1936 540k Mercedes. This car was factory delivered by Mercedes-Benz to Dr. Ernst Heinkel. So the Heinkel Aviation, so Heinkel Works, so the German aviation designer. Okay. So this was his private car. So this car's had a pretty big history. So we know it was delivered by him by Mercedes-Benz, and he owned the car at least up until 1942. Recently we've made contact with his grandson in Rostock, who's a watchmaker, and he's allowed us to have access to his family's archive in Germany, and we've gone right through the car. So he was given the car before the war and used it privately. After the war, we're not really sure what happened to the car, how it got to the US, but it spent some time in the US, also spent some time in England, and then a gentleman bought it out here. Unfortunately, he didn't quite tell the tax department what he paid for the car, and customs found the paperwork in the glove box, and then he lost the car. So it was a 4-year legal battle.
Oh, wow.
And he lost this, and it was about 4 years later, went to public auction. So when it was publicly auctioned, George Hettrell, same owner as this vehicle, bought that car, and he restored it about 18 months later. It took him about 4 or 5 years to restore. When they restored it, they found iron crosses on the door, and they found field grey. So at some stage, I believe it was about 1941, 42, in Germany, you weren't allowed as a private citizen to own a car. So you had to sort of be someone or know someone to have a car. So we think that it was painted field grey, iron crosses on the door, and it also had flag points put on it at some stage.
Yes.
It had a bullet hole here as well, which they found during the restoration. So it had quite a life. It went to the US afterwards. It was owned by a guy called Dr. Don Vesley in Florida, in Tampa, who was a doctor down there, and he owned it for a period of time. He used to own a number of Bugattis and Mercedes-Benz, and he also used to own Clark Gable's Duesenberg, I think.
Oh, wow.
So quite a historic car.
It's quite a story on just the car.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the iron crosses? What do you think? Like maybe it was in Germany. Or
well, it was definitely a German delivered car. Okay. So it was the factory built and coachwork built was done in Sinkelfeden in Germany, and it was delivered to Ernst Heinkel, who lived in Germany before the war, and then during the war he made all the Heinkel planes. So pretty much every World War II film you watch, you can see those twin propeller planes. They're all Heinkels. Oh. We kind of think we've been going through the research. I've known the car for a long time. In my previous working life, I also knew the car. So through the history work, we think it might be connected to what they call the T80 project. So if you ever go to the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Germany, they've got a car mounted to the wall, and that was the T80 land speed record car. So they were basically before the war.
Like that was raced on the beach, wasn't it? Not? Is that what it was?
Similar, they would. So Germany wanted to win the land speed record. Okay. So they wanted to do it in Germany. They're actually going to do it in the US, but then they were afraid that people were going to try and steal their secrets of the engine, so they kept it in Germany. Yeah. And they were going to do it in the Autobahn. And about a month before the war broke out, they were a bit way late in the program, and then war broke out. So the car never ran, and the car survived the war, and now it's on the wall of the museum. But we think it's connected to that because Heinkel actually built the body and he helped build the chassis. So Ferdinand of Porsche designed it, and a number of people were involved in the project, and he was involved with it, and then he won a prize in Germany, and about a month and a half later he got this car. So we think it might be connected to that.
What are the hinges on the door, eh?
So it came to Australia in 1989. Wow. And then it was seized by customs. So there's a photo on the seat somewhere, hopefully. I'll post on the back seat, which is...
The dash, look at the dash in that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
The dash is amazing. I like what is it around the dash, around the instrument? What's that?
We're about to,
Mother of Pearl?
Yeah, Mother of Pearl inlay. So the car's it did have a restoration in 1978, yes. And it actually sold at Barrett Jackson in 1984. Okay. So it's a well-travelled car, but the restoration notes in 1989 and 1990 said it only had a really mild restoration. So we've obviously looked after it. George restored it in the 90s. On the back seat, there's actually a photo from the first ever test flight of. So Heinkel actually, other than doing other planes, he was actually the.
I see the planes there.
Yeah, he designed the first jet aircraft.
Right.
So he was involved in that program, and that photo on the back is Ernst Udet, who was really famous, who ran basically all the planes for Germany. And we think that's the car on the left.
Okay.
In the book on the right, there's a book on the back seat which Heinkel wrote in 1958. He mentions the car a couple of times with him and Charles Lindbergh. So it's got good history.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Today's shirts, yeah, by any chance?
No, but I'll grab them for you.
Oh, yeah, because they're lined
do you want to
up
just
now,
do you want to just maybe just take 20 of random sizes?
20 of random.
Yeah, sorry, 25 random sizes between whatever you've got. That's fine. Yeah. And then there's our BMW as well. So that's pretty rare. There's only 2 in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's a 38 328. Really nice little sports car. Kind of cool features. You can take the seats out. They're picnic seats. So they were designed so if you went out on a lovely picnic, you could literally pull the seats out of the car, put them on the ground, have your picnic, put them back in afterwards. Great for picnics, probably terrible for road safety.
You think you thought of it, but they've already thought of it and they've already done it. In my opinion, everything's already been done before. All we know now to do is complicate things.
Well, it's funny, if you look at a lot of cars, a lot of British cars from the 50s, they're very similar, and the engine is exactly the same because England were the first allies into the BMW factory, and they took the engine blueprints, spare blocks, sent them back to England, and then they basically copied it. The only thing they changed was the spark plug size.
So they do exactly what I do. They steal from other people, and then they make it theirs.
Exactly.
So I was not lying, was I? That's what I said. I steal ideas and I use them as mine.
It's a great little car. It's pretty modern.
The hood was going to flip open like that at first.
So I said, John Diamond bought this car, I think in the late 80s, early 90s. It's been in the family hand. John Diamond. Okay. So JD, who's our owner, and obviously his wife Margaret. So JD bought this car many years ago and used to take it everywhere. Drove it everywhere.
Oh, good.
It's a really family car, so it's done a heap of regularity work and no real.
Is that a brass hammer?
Yep, certainly is for the wheels. Yeah, knock the wheels off.
And it was a BMW just as soon as you seen the grille.
Yeah, they've kept that right way through. Even now, BMW have that iconic shape.
We want these for your Bugatti. We want those red. We want red ones like that.
So we're quite lucky with some of the cars we've got. I said JD, as I said, I think we spoke today. He bought a car, built a car, and then either tried to get a good one or really liked certain things.
Yeah.
So he was quite a collector, and luckily got a few things. We've continued that over the last few years. A couple of the other families. That's Mark, who passed away. I think we spoke about him today, the eldest son. That's Mark. As I said, he used to race everything. That's one of his race bikes, a Mearson. So he used to race improved production bikes and all. As I said, anything with a motor. That's him also racing our hill climb car. He's quite a larger than life personality.
Awesome.
This is another race car behind us. So this is a Cheetah. So it's a 1983 Cheetah. We campaigned that in historics, so that's a really quick car. So you guys are in a supercar today.
Yeah.
This is only a couple of seconds off that, and no protection, obviously, because you're quite low to the ground, so it would be terrifying to drive.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
And it's the first car that Penrite, when the Diamonds bought the business in 1979, I think 83, we had a little bit of Penrite on it, and then 98, and Repco were a sponsor, and then 84, we took over full sponsorship. So it's actually the first car we had as Penrite. So which is why it's really important to us to keep. So as I said, we actively campaign that car as well. So
it's beautiful.
Has it always had that livery?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing that fast in that car.
Yeah. A couple others behind us.
It seems like twice as fast, would it not?
At least, yeah. They're pretty full ground effects car, so quite all aluminium. It's so light, like it is. It's a monochrome aluminium construction.
It'd be a go-kart.
It is, yeah. It's a big go-kart. So it'd be terrifying. So at one of our Aston Martins, so DB4. That was an in-house restoration. So I said a few of the family members are involved in vehicle restoration. So that was an in-house job, other than the paint. But we got then.
They tore in the family. Tore
Yeah.
Cool. I never noticed this. That's quite a scoop. I never noticed it. Would that be for just heat?
Just to get some air into the car. Yeah.
Like for rid of heat.
So you guys were in a supercar before. This was one of our supercars from back in 2015. We used to be partnered with a different race team.
Okay.
And this is when we did our 90th birthday, so there was a celebration of that. We did this car, and again, it was our first sort of foray into fully owning a supercar in partnership with Erebus Racing. And we were lucky enough to, and then the car was retired, we were lucky enough to work with the previous owner to make it part of our collection. So
perfect.
And then one of our,
never heard tell of this car before. A unit.
So you've probably seen something similar. All the London taxi cabs of the early 20s, this is what they were. They were made by a French company called Unique. So,
like Jolene asked me, was the interior in the back original?
No. So this car, funnily enough, was bought by two ladies that lived in Sandringham, and it was a chauffeur's car. So that's why there's no driver's door. So there's only ever a passenger door on a chauffeur's car. So you can always tell.
I never thought of that, but
well, the idea was they get out and open up for the passengers in the rear, but yeah, they're quite interesting.
It's beautifully done.
Yeah, all the valves, like tyre valves, are on the inside.
Yeah.
Because it's taxi cab, so when you're a taxi driver, you have to keep and maintain your own cars. So there's actually a little air compressor on top of the engine, on top of the gearbox. So if you need to pump up your tyres, you can do that, and that's why all the valves face inwards. But it's pretty incredible. Every nut on the left-hand side says left, and on the right they say right, obviously in French. But every part's got the address on it from the company in France.
Where'd you get it?
Yeah. So it's on the grill, on the chassis, on the engine. They wrote it everywhere.
Nowadays, everybody thinks 20 is a big wheel. They did 20s way back then.
Yep.
Right? They even did bigger than that. Did they not? 1922.
And then as part of the collection, we've got a handful of bikes. As I said, the family have always been involved in motorcycles. So Margaret, our owner, she's been riding a scooter since the 50s. Just on the wall behind you that's JD there with a cigarette in his hand. And that's, we used to do a thing called a BP rally here in the 60s. John was part of that because he actually came over here as part of BP Petroleum back in the day, working on long life fuel additives. So he always worked in additives. It's our Riley Kestrel, another car with a pre-selector. If you're into your pre-selector cars.
Yes.
Bikes.
Looking at your bikes, man. They're just cool. Or something else.
Yeah.
This bad boy's a what?
It's a Riley Kestrel.
Riley Kestrel.
Riley Kestrel. So it's got a pre-selector. I probably locked all the cars I have.
Okay.
So it's got a 4-speed pre-selector in it. Quite a nice car. It's only got a 1500cc engine. So
where would this be made?
British built.
British built.
Yeah. So because the family, I said Margaret and John, John worked at Vauxhall in Luton. So he lived in Luton, worked at the factory down the road, and Margaret was connected. I think she had a few relatives. I think if you lived in Luton, you worked at Vauxhall or were connected to it. So they've always had a love for English cars. We've got a few more at the back.
There's a big window on it.
Very big car. It drives really well. You wouldn't think it's a 30s car. It drives much more like an early 50s or an even late 50s car.
Yeah, beautiful.
But a lot of chrome work.
It's low too, eh?
Yeah. They've got a really good shape.
Yeah, it's really sporty.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Hope I find a junk one someday. I'll cut the roof off it.
1903 curved dash Oldsmobile, so one of our older vehicles. So we've got a few veteran vehicles in the collection. There's a bit more at the back, but curved dash Oldsmobile, first company to do production line. So that's basically where Ford got the idea from.
So Ford kind of stole.
Yeah, I think they borrowed it from Oldsmobile.
Right.
Oldsmobile. The reason this was the model they went with, I think they designed 4 or 5 vehicles that they were going to unveil at a motor show, and their factory burnt down, and the only one that was left in full working order was the curved dash one. So that's the model they went with. Yeah, it's all wood. So engine in the back.
Little picnic basket.
Yep, picnic basket.
Everybody must have went picnicking back in the day, didn't they?
I think so.
They had a picnic basket, you know.
So it's quite unique. Everything's copper and brass.
Yeah.
So we've had this running around the car park and blowing smoke everywhere.
Single cylinder.
Yeah.
I like the pinstripe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it look a little nicer, all the pinstripe on it. You know, you think they pinstripe cars nowadays. Well, they pinstriped them way back then, and that's where they got it, right? Like, I mean, look, it's just everywhere. It's beautiful. Nice. What did they run on the chain? Look in the rear end. What would it do? 10 mile an hour? 15 mile an hour?
I think even less than that. I think we've had it up on Hopes and Dreams. I think at about 5 kilometres an hour, but I think you could probably get it a little bit higher. I think we rated it about 10 to 12, but they're not fantastic.
From what I understand, in King Sport, when I was a young boy, my grandmother would say that My grandfather owned the first car in Kingsport, and he'd be going up the road 10, 15 miles an hour, and everybody would be saying, look at that fool, he's going to kill himself. Right?
Now we think of that as being slow.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that fool, he's going to kill himself.
Yeah, well, they're pretty simple. I mean, they're just like basically like a sled. There's nothing to it.
Horse and wagon.
Yep, and tiller steering. So I mean, they thought about it though. I mean, you know, so you can get in and out. It's flexible, and you haven't got many controls here. So basically, your controls here are your idle and your
That just steers like that.
Oil. Yeah. So
that's pretty basic. That's cool.
Yeah.
Little step peg, get up in. What more would you want? Grab bar, lights. Awesome.
So it's a bit more like a horse and buggy, but you can see where they came from and how they progressed. I mean,
yes, for sure.
The jump between that and, you know, if you look at 30 years later, it was a massive jump in technology. So, I mean, you know, credit where credit's due. I mean, constant innovation and constant work have, you know, yielded some great results.
Right. Just looking around at everything. My eyes are everywhere.
Cool. We might.
Can I just take a walk and look at the goodies?
Because I think John can film with
the size of piston.
So we'll film in here, at least it's quiet. And then, and then with the band brakes. Yeah, with band brakes.
So cool.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
Let's put these banners back up.
I like that.
Yeah, of course you can.
What are the stamps for? He's going, eh? For a second. Yeah.
Jared.
Yep, coming.
The stamps. What are they for?
They were from the early Penrite ones from the office.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a couple of speeding fines in there from JD back in the day as well.
Wow. Is that car that was on that picture over there?
Yeah, so most of this is all office stuff that JD, when we cleared out his office, most of that stuff came from...
Is that the car on the other side running around?
No, that's a Bentley, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, JD used to have a Bentley back in the day as well, so...
And the stamps are for what?
The stamps are from the office. So back in the day we used to, obviously everything was all paperwork, so a lot of the stuff here was from, And JD was also a bit of a book guy as well, because he was an engineer. He never lost that passion. So he was always looking at. I went through thousands of photos. He just took thousands of photos of internal engines and brackets and things that you and I would go, what's that? But he was so into how things work and making things work better.
Right.
So, but we kept his library here as well.
Man, I like that coach. I'm in a car museum and I like the coach. Do you like it? Nice, isn't it? Rich looking. These are nice. Very nice. I like the coach. And chairs are nice.
So that's the Bentley there. I said, hopefully we'll get one back one day, but
okay.
We've got a few other cars not here. We've also got another place around the corner. We keep all of the family race cars. I think I said to you the family's still involved in historic racing and sponsoring a couple of young kids in racing. So we keep them in another facility around the corner just to keep them maintained.
You can have a little toy. Huh? But it was a race car. Is this a...
that one, that's a good question. That is an AC Ace with a solid roof. So we've actually got an AC Ace. I think I showed it to you on the wall today.
Okay.
Just under restoration. We should have that back in the next couple of months.
Oh wow.
The thing with old cars is finding people who can restore them and getting them back on the road.
Yeah.
So we've,
and do it the way you want it done.
Yeah, and that's the trouble with finding qualified people, and that it's quite hard.
100%.
Head through. I'll give you this back because we're going to get inundated by noise. So I think we'll do, because you can't put the music yet.
No.
So we'll wait till there's a break in the band, and then we'll do that. So.
Yeah, I'll give Jared 1 sec. You guys said it.
He said just a minute. Do they have a table and everything? We're going to sit down and do shirts? Oh, is she good?
Right to go? Yeah. Cool. Coming through.
Yep.
So that's the front of the museum. This is our old blending plant. So we've kept the bit here.
Okay.
So you'll see the massive technology
wow.
difference.
Never expected this.
Yeah. This is my dad, by the way. Thanks, Dad.
How you doing? You've done a fine job.
Well, I'm trying to catch the crowd out. He's shipped along. Okay.
So we'll go straight on stage if you like and do an intro.
I never expected this.